Hey, Miles here, milesbeckler.com, and this video marks the 2-year anniversary from when I started publishing videos here on YouTube. We're going to look into the analytics here in YouTube to understand what actually happened, right? How many videos, how many views, all that fun kind of analytical geeky stuff. And then we're going to look at my blog and the podcast feed as well, because it's that same content I'm putting out through YouTube that's getting distributed and syndicated through my blog and also through the podcast. So you're going to see the results of 2 years in content marketing. You've probably heard this before if you know me, that I did 120 videos in 120 days. And then I got on this 3 video per week kick that I've been on for, about a year and a half, a little over a year and a half at this point. I'm currently building out my first product. So I've put in 2 years of hard work, of effort, growing my audience, giving value to the audience, right? Being of service, growing my list, and ultimately learning a lot through answering comments and engaging. So I've spent a couple of years putting the work out first before ever launching the product. And let's jump in and take a look at the numbers. I'm really excited to see what this has actually transpired to. The first place we're going to start is here in YouTube. Now, I chose to use YouTube as my origin point for content because I feel like this process of communicating through video is easy for me. If you're a writer naturally, you can write. You can start with the WordPress side of things. So do whatever's in your DNA is one of the biggest kind of takeaways. So in 2 years, I've generated, we're going to call this 65,000 subscribers. It's 64,583. By the time you see this, it should be already over 65,000. If you haven't yet subscribed, give me that subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Hit the thumbs up if you want. But I'm going to jump into the Creator Studio so we can get to analytics. So about 65,000 subscribers, and I've made 402 videos. That's in 24 months. So my rough kind of napkin math on that is about 17 videos per month on average, which averages out roughly to about a video every other day. But again, it was very, very significantly front loaded. I've just been doing 3 per week for quite some time. When we jump into the analytics, we're going to look at what's going on right now, right in the 30-day window or 28-day window that I've been operating in. But I want to zoom out and show you all of the numbers across the entire kind of publishing time frame as well, so we can get a good idea of when the growth really seemed to kick up to the next level. My watch time, it's down 2-3% right now, month over month. My views are down also about 3% month over month, and my average view duration is up 0.3%. So all my main numbers are pretty much even here. Let's go back to the quarter real quick and do the last 90 days. In 90 days, you can see my watch time. It looks like I've got a little bit of a trend up on this. The lows seem to be getting higher and the highs seem to be getting higher. My views also kind of looks like it's in a trending channel, and my view duration, and they all do show that they're up. So about 4% this last quarter versus the quarter before, up about 1.3% there and about 3% there. So nothing drastic changing, right? But it's the consistency of effort over long periods of time that's really creating this significant growth. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up to do a 1 year, and then we're going to compare this past year versus the year before, right? Year 1 and year 2. So give me a quick second to set this up. Okay, so now I have the last 365 days, the last 1 year loaded. And again, this has definitely been 3 videos a week for 365 days. And you can see I've had about 13 million minutes viewed, and I've had about 2 million, 1.9 million different views. My average view duration is down a little bit. It shows that my average views is up 104% from the year before. And then you can see my watch time is up 98%. So I did literally have a doubling of my kind of views and everything from year 2 to year 1. Let's run a little comparison so we can get the actual graphs to work on each other here. And I'm going to go to previous period. This is where it's going to get really interesting, because you're going to see literally when I put out my first video, I had no subscribers, I had no viewers, I had no videos on the channel at all, and I just started. And you can see that, you know, this line is a 1 year graph here. So midway through the graph, right around where my cursor is at, you can see on the orange line, which is my first year, I'm barely up into my operational channel, right? It took literally 2/3 of the year to 3/4 of the year for me to really gain peak momentum, which means it literally took somewhere to the tune of 8, 9, 10 months for me to really get the momentum to prove to YouTube that I'm a serious contributor. I've been doing my keyword research on just about every video I can. I optimize just about every video I can. Remember, I'm bringing 10 years plus of digital marketing experience, and it took me 10 months of very, very aggressive content marketing on YouTube to really kick their algorithm into my favor to start driving lots and lots of traffic. And that kind of same pattern appears right here in the view numbers as well, in addition to the watch time. But that's the big takeaway, right? You're also probably noticing that once I got into this upper channel, I've really stayed in this upper channel. And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is that my marketplace is only so big. There's a certain number of people every month who kind of give up on the game or get out of the game. And then there's a certain number of people every month who are getting into the game and searching YouTube for answers to their questions about digital marketing and digital entrepreneurship. But honestly, it's a fixed amount of people, and I'm probably going to maintain about this channel. I don't expect to see any exponential growth beyond this, because ultimately the things that go viral on YouTube are not tactical digital marketing, geeky, nerdy videos like this. But I'm happy to continue to be a facilitator of this type of information, because my whole goal with this is to become a content producer on YouTube that YouTube trusts, so YouTube will connect me with their visitors searching for answers to their problems and questions that I've got helpful content on. So I've partnered with YouTube, the platform, to help YouTube's visitors find great answers. And that's why I'm going to keep putting out content to kind of maintain my role in that space. One more little number I want to crunch here is I want to look at the whole 2 years at once. So give me one quick second. All right, so when we look at the whole 2-year run that I've been on in one view, you can see I've had about 20 million, just under 20 million minutes viewed from 2.8 million viewers, which is pretty amazing. You can see my subscriber number, again, about 65,000 subscribers. The comment number is 23,000. You can see the big spikes. Those are from when I did live broadcasts. They really do create a bump in engagement. And you can see the number of likes, 85,000. I've also answered just about every single comment. So when I said earlier that I've spent 2 years giving value, really that strategy of preeminence that Jay Abraham talks about, one of the big things I've been doing also is taking the time to really engage in the comments, because I've been listening. I've been really trying to figure out, what are your sticking points? What are your challenges? What content can I create? Some of my best content ideas, some of my best videos have actually come from questions from viewers in the comments. So if you're doing YouTube, even if you're doing WordPress, be sure you're actually engaging in the comments. It's an extreme wealth of information for you in there. All in all, I'm super stoked on what I've created. I still feel like I'm just getting started in this whole world. I'm really excited to see where the next year and the next year go, and I'll definitely keep you following along. I'll keep broadcasting these kinds of updates on my effort and my results here in the future. Next up, we're looking at my blog. This is the analytics for my WordPress blog. And right around the end of year 1, I put a system in place to where I have a teammate who he runs a little team, and we are transcribing my videos. Then they're getting copy edited by a native English, kind of an English major here in the United States, by an editor. And then they get proofread, and then they get kind of SEO optimized, right? We get the right keyword phrases and the H2s and get all that going. And then they get laid out and published to my blog. And we've been ramping that up much, much more in the last year than we did in the first year. In the first year, it was all the energy I had to simply create my videos, really. And I barely got my list growing in the first year. So the second year was really a lot about syndication. And we're going to look at how those numbers have worked out. So right here, you can see in the last 30 days, I've had 22,000 sessions from about 13,400 people. I'm going to set this up for a quick comparison of month over month. This is giving us the kind of zoomed in trend line to see what we're doing. And you can see also about even right now, the users is down less than 1%. The number of sessions is up, down about 1.5%. But I'm going to set this now to a full year to show exactly what's been going on recently. So let me set this comparison. Okay, so now I have 1 year showing up on this graph, and as you can see, it looks like right here, about a year ago, I was in a much lower area, and I've been really kind of holding this much higher channel in the year. I've maybe added, I would assume, 6 to 8 blog posts that I wrote myself. Everything else that's been added to my blog has really been based off of these videos. Again, YouTube being my origination. And you can see I've had 129,000 individuals for a total of about 250,000 visits to my website. And it's important to remember that every page view, right? So about 500,000 page views in the last year. Every time a page loads, I've got my pop-up for my opt-in that pops up for them. I'm always working with my content on my blog to grow my email list. And that's why I actually prefer, and I think if you like writing as your kind of content origination format, I think there's benefit for you because you're going to grow your list faster if all of your attention goes into your WordPress blog. I had a very limiting belief around writing, and I have very limited time. So really for me, using the system to get my YouTube videos onto my blog is the key. But ultimately, this is where the bulk of my subscribers are coming from. I'm currently at about 6,400 subscribers on my email list that I'm mailing every day. And this is pretty impressive. Let's go now take a look at what it was year over year, because this is where we start to see the long-term focused efforts over long periods of time. And it's as clear as day. It almost matches the exact graph we saw in the previous kind of window when I was looking at the analytics in my YouTube channel. You can see over 2 years ago, or right at 2 years ago, right, August of 2016, I had 3 sessions that day. I had 4 sessions that day, 3 sessions that day, and now currently I'm having anywhere between 1,000 sessions. It looks like my lows are 650 sessions per day, right? So back in the day, I was getting a handful of people, literally 4 or 5 people per day to my website, and now I'm getting upwards of 1,000 visitors to my website every single day. Nothing on the internet that's good happens fast, right? The only good thing, or the only fast things that happen are when you get banned from the search engines from doing something dumb like buying backlinks. These types of results take long periods of consistent focused effort, and that's my whole goal with this video, is to show you super clearly through the data in both YouTube and also here in my blog that it's the consistent effort done over years of time that has created pretty much massive results here. I want to do this all on one line so we can see what the exact numbers are for the last 2 years. And here it is. This is over the last couple of years. You can see about 163,000 visitors to the website for a total of 300 or so thousand visits, a total of over 600,000 page views. So it's pretty remarkable the amount of visitors, the amount of traffic, the amount of people that I'm connecting with. And this is a major, major boom for my email list growth. And I was trying to blog back in the day, back in 2014, 2013. So you're going to see how goofy it looked before. You can see this orange line barely has any blips on the screen. This is when I was left to my devices trying to blog on my own, and you can see something crazy like 6,400% increase. But that's, again, the last 2 years over the years before that. So really the proof is in the pudding, right? The data does not lie in that situation. And then what I built on, I believe around last October, I added on getting the MP3 files from my videos that don't have screen shares onto a podcast feed onto the main podcast directories. Now, the iTunes store and the Apple podcast feed is definitely the #1, but I've got it on all the Android ones as well. If you search Miles Beckler in the podcast app, Castbox, Podbean, whatever podcast app you use, search Miles Beckler, I will show up. And you can see that last month I had 6,200 downloads. This month so far, we're 2/3 of the way through the month. I've got a little over 4,000. So I'll probably hit 6,000 downloads again this month. And really what's cool is the all-time number. I've got about 1,000 downloads of my podcast in the last, maybe since October. So what is that? 10 months or so. So that's an average of about 5,000 per month. You can see my high right here, 374 downloads in a day. The lows are down in the range of just under 100, 89, 68. So I would say that my average here is somewhere around 150-ish a day, 120-ish per day. Again, this is a way for me to syndicate my content. Not everyone has the time to sit down and watch YouTube videos as often as everyone else. And honestly, some people just don't like watching YouTube videos. They feel like it takes too much of their time and energy, but they're able to pop in the headphones, the earbuds, when they're walking the dog, when they're at the gym. They listen to it on their Bluetooth, kind of on their car, when they're driving on their commute. Maybe they're listening on the train during their commute. And it's a way for them to get that inspiring, helpful kind of knowledge sound bites from me, right? It's a way for me to connect with segments of my audience who aren't vast YouTube users, which is the exact same idea with my blog, right? The fact that my blog connects with people who like to read, the videos connect with people who like to watch, and then the audio connects with people who like to just listen. And all in all, I think the big idea that I've wanted to show slowly and steadily is how growing a successful business online actually works. Because it works by doing lots of little things over long periods of time. It works based on putting out content over and over again, becoming a content partner for the platforms that you're publishing on. Google looks at my website as a content partner. I deliver great content that gets high engagement, so Google sends me visitors searching for specific keyword phrases that are relevant to my content. YouTube sees that I have a high engagement, I get a lot of comments, I get a lot of thumbs up and a lot of likes. So when someone searches for a keyword phrase that I have a video on, YouTube is very willing to deliver my video in that search engine result page. But it took 10 months or more of consistent effort to really build that trust between my content and my channel with the YouTube algorithm. And we saw those lines matched so similarly with my blog content. It took months and months and months of publishing before I built up enough authority to really show to Google that I'm a real publisher. I'm publishing real helpful content that Google users will like, and now Google drives more visitors to my website than they did this time a year ago. And that's the name of the game. That's why my wife's website right now gets about 850,000 visits per month. It's nothing, there's no one thing that she did that was special. It's the fact that she started publishing content in 2009 and she's still publishing today. In fact, literally earlier today, she published a new blog post and a new video, and then she emailed her list back to her content, because the name of the game to become a successful internet marketer is becoming a publisher. You have to become a publisher. You need to publish more content than you consume. When you focus your energy on creating and publishing helpful, valuable content, then you focus on offering extra valuable information, freemium information, when they convert to your email list subscriber. That really is the core of every single digital business. And that is what I really wanted to show through my actions over the last 2 years, that there's no major thing. There was no one video I did that all of a sudden, boom, wow, Miles hit it big. Not at all. It's the results of 3 videos a week for literally like 20 months straight and 120 videos in the 120 days before that. It's a lot of little things compounding, right? All of my efforts have been compounding on my past efforts. Some of my videos from last year still get searched and get traffic. My new videos get searched and get traffic, and all combined, I'm reaching millions and millions of people with my content. You can do this too, especially when you get that perspective right, that it's a long game. It takes a lot of work, but it's very, very rewarding. It's very fulfilling. I'm creating great cash flow off of just these videos as they're published here. And I've got my membership program I'm working on that I'm going to launch in about a week or so right now. I'm probably less than a week out from finally launching my first product. You can do this too. I invite you to join in on this journey. Just choose yourself and start publishing. Go be helpful, be of service to your audience. You'll be amazed at what you create when you put efforts forward on one niche, one audience, one list for multiple years on end. That really is the secret. And on that note, I'm going to call it here. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, get at me in the comments below. And be sure you subscribe because I got a new video coming out in a few days. So subscribe and I'll catch you on the next video. But until then, be well. See you soon.